So, the icons, they had a conference today in Washington, D.C., America, today being 10th of December. They were deliberating on what is happening in Nigeria, the rate of insecurities in Nigeria, and the negligence of Nigerian government over the whole thing that have been happening. So many people spoke here, but the person I want you to pay much attention to is the woman who spoke. According to how they introduced this woman, she was an ambassador to South Africa or something like that. Do you understand? So this woman spoke very, very well about what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on September, I think 2017 or so, when Operation Python Dance was declared in Southeast. How Nigerian military invaded Nnamdi Kanu's house and massacred so many people there. The woman is of the opinion that every military personnel in Nigeria should be deployed back to his state of origin. If you are a military personnel and you are from Nasarawa, you should be deployed back to Nasarawa. If you are from Enugu, you should be deployed back to Enugu State. If you are from Kaduna, you should be deployed to Kaduna. Saying that it is even in the constitution of Nigeria. But all the Muslim presidents that have led Nigeria has never want to implement that rule that says that over 80% of military personnel in the state should be the origin should be from that particular state. Why she's making this opinion is that she said that had it been during the Operation Python Dance that the soldiers who were sent to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house are of the Igbo extraction, that there is no way they will shoot at innocent people and kill many people as they killed that day. Do you understand? Instead, they should have just spoken to them in their language and say, please, you people should just leave this place, so that government don't want to see you people here. Please, you people should leave here, because they understand that this is their brothers. You get? So that if Nigeria if they want to help Nigeria and solve problem in Nigeria, that they should enforce Nigeria to implement that law that every military personnel should go back to the state of their origin. In fact, let me allow you to listen to what they are discussing here.
With the prerogative of the chair here, and turn the question a little bit to the issue, the big elephant that's sitting in the back of the room that nobody's actually talking about, which is what exactly do we do to get the Nigerian government and to get governments around Africa to join. And there's an old joke that how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is none, because the light bulb has to want to change. Right? And so the question here is, how do we kind of work together with other countries in Africa, to get Nigeria to want to change? And there's a lot of different tools for that. And so we have a number of people who are on the list that I'm going to turn to and ask that question to. Okay, because I think better than making statements is the question of, okay, now what next? Okay, and so the first person I'm going to put on the spot is Ambassador, Madam Ambassador, who was the person, she was the ambassador to South Africa, and she understands the diplomatic kind of kabuki dance the diplomats have to do to get people to go along with controversial ideas. So is there a microphone that we can, so that you don't have to get up, is there a microphone we can? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. I was Ambassador Consul. Are you sending that to Abuja?
No.
Can you direct? Don't send that to Abuja.
No. All right. No, just for the record.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
That has to do immediately, which is the question you asked. Post every soldier to his state of origin. Post every Nigerian soldier to his state of origin. They will not allow their people to be killed and slaughtered. Because national loyalties in Nigeria are primordial. The loyalties are first to the ethnicity and the indigeneity before the Western created contraption called Nigeria. That is true. People owe more loyalties to their Afanifere, to their Ohanese, to their Arewas before the country Nigeria. And it is constitutional. There is a section in the Nigerian constitution that every single Muslim governments who have ruled Nigeria more than other administrations have not allowed to be touched. Everybody has a copy of the Nigerian Constitution. It is online, Section 219. Section 219 of the Nigerian Constitution says, establish the federal character of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Every single military facility and location in Nigeria must be populated by no less than 75% of the indigents of the locality of the military facility. Why has government refused to implement it? So what America needs to do is to tell Nigeria, every soldier must be posted to his state of origin. And I tell you something. Yes, I am Igbo. And they invaded the house of Nnamdi Kanu in an operation called Operation Python Dance in September, when was that? Wherever. The soldiers that came to invade the village where boys and young men were marching and wielding rifles, locally made rifles, chanting Biafra hymns, that was no threat to sovereignty. But those soldiers came over weaponized with armored tanks. I thought they were going to invade maybe Benin Republic with military aircraft or something. It was just a house. And they so spoke Hausa to them and Fulani to them and say, you know that. So what I posit is that if the soldiers that had come to undertake the Python dance attack were locals who spoke the local lingo to the youths and said, hey, you boys, you don't know that government is angry with this thing you are doing, and flogged them, the consequences would have been different. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, in a Zoom call that we had a couple of weeks ago, one of the other diplomatic issues is the idea of the United States imposing its will and kind of robbing Nigeria of its precious metals. And so that's one of the issues that we're going to have to get the other Africans on board too. Unlike Congress, those of us who've served in the executive branch have to actually make the choir sing, and we have to make them sing together. And so that's really one of the challenges that we have. And so let me just now turn to Dr. Sylvester Onya, and I'm going to give him the microphone to say and please keep it short, what specifically would you have the administration do to engage the Nigerians in a useful conversation?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Congressman. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, Icon. One and foremost thing that somebody have said here is truth. Nigeria is supposed to embrace the truth. And starting from that truth and listening to what is happening from 1967 to 1970, we fought a war, civil war, and people don't like to address it. They don't want to hear anything about Biafra, but Biafra existed before Nigeria. So what had happened is that Nnamdi Kanu, the whistleblower about this particular genocide, Christian genocide that is happening now, that all of us are agreed on, they went after him because he was alerting people that this is going to happen, and it have just happened. What is it today? He's somewhere in Sokoto doing life them for nothing, just telling people that, hey, be careful, government should restructure the system that didn't work, the 67. That the same system is still what we're suffering today. The resources we're talking about one Nigeria, is based on our side, which is the southeast. But when we hear about the resources, it's one Nigeria. Who is benefiting from one Nigeria? Sir, I should ask you that, because you're just coming from Nigeria. Who is benefiting? Thank you.
We're looking at how you're seeing part of the problem here, but I'd like to ask Judge Saul, who's working with with people on the ground, to say, what precisely do you need from the United States government and from the Nigerian government to solve some of these problems? Because it's going to take a while.
trying to make this very brief and short and sweet. What we need from the American government is partnership with local village security teams and local authorities. You cannot do business and trust the Nigerian government apparatus because it has been fully infiltrated by the Fulani ethnic militia. The other thing that the U.S. government needs to do is